flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies in which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Fort Lee Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published on October 17th, 2025, and posted on the district website at www.flboe.com, published in the board's designated online media outlet, newspaper, and record in the Star Ledger, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Fort Lee, and mailed to all persons, if any, who have requested said notice. Please be advised this meeting is being recorded and may be broadcasted on local TV and online at a future date. The Open Public Meeting Act allows for remote participation at board meetings and defines meeting as any gathering, whether corporeal or by means of communication equipment, which is attended by or open to all of the members of the public body, held with the intent on the part of the members of the body present to discuss or act as a unit upon the specific public business of that body. Roll call, please.
Ms. Byers-Kang.
Here.
Ms. Colback. Ms. Curry.
Here.
Mr. Knight. Ms. Kotang. Mr. Lopez.
Here.
Ms. Morel.
Here.
Mr. Rubino.
Here.
Ms. Richter.
Here. The board will be convening to executive session to discuss legal, personnel, and other confidential matters. The board will reconvene into public session at approximately 7:30 p.m. I have a motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Motion Rubino, second Curry, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies in which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Fort Lee Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published on October 17th, 2025, posted on the district website at www.flboe.com, published in the board's designated online media outlet, newspaper, the Record, and the Star Ledger, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Fort Lee, and mailed to all persons, if any, who have requested said notice. Please be advised this meeting is being recorded and may be broadcasted on local TV and online at a future date. The Open Public Meeting Act allows for remote participation at board meetings and defines meeting as any gathering, whether corporeal or by means of communication equipment, which is attended by or open to all of the members of a public body, held with the intent on the part of the members of the body present to discuss or act as a unit upon the specific public business of that body. Roll call, please.
Ms. Byers-Kang. Ms. Curry.
Here.
Mr. Knight is absent. Ms. Kotang.
Here.
Mr. Lopez.
Here.
Ms. Morel.
Here.
Mr. Rubino.
Here.
Ms. Richter.
Here.
I'm here until the end of the year.
I'm sorry, did I miss you, Ms. Colback? And Ms.
Here.
Ms. Byers-Kang?
No.
I'm gonna go home, I'm not feeling comfortable.
Okay, thank you.
The board convened the executive session at 6:30 p.m. to discuss legal, personnel, and other confidential matters. Ms. Colazo, will you begin by sharing the superintendent's report?
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Richter. Good evening, everyone. To those of you joining us in person and to those of you joining us via Zoom, thank you for being here tonight. To begin, there have been 3 HIV cases reported to date, all of which for the month of October, all of which have been unfounded. I'm sorry, not for the month of October, since the last time I reported. All of our safety and security drills for the month of October were completed in accordance with New Jersey State Code. Tonight, it's my pleasure to welcome 2 Fort Lee High School seniors, Isabel Lin and Jessica Hahn, who are here to share important information about their school.
Hello.
The
Varsity boys soccer beat Morris Knolls to advance to the second round of the state tournament, but lost in the quarterfinal to Ramapo, completing their season at 13-4.
The Fort Lee football team completed a perfect season with a win over Richfield Park in the Ivy League champion, going 9-0.
Senior Luke Senator was awarded North Jersey Athlete of the Week after leading the football team to his first undefeated season since 1932.
As October was National Principals Month, the school counseling department would like to extend a heartfelt thanks to Miss Ning, Mr. Brennan, Miss Williams Glover, Mr. Ambrosio, Mr. Giordano, Mr. Diaz, and Mrs. Glynn for their continued support, leadership, and collaboration. Your partnership is greatly appreciated.
The Fort Lee High School Theater's production of Our Town is just around the corner. Performance dates and times are Friday, November 21st at 7 p.m., Saturday, November 22nd at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., and Sunday, November 23rd at 3 p.m.
On Sunday, October 26th, the Fort Lee High School String Quartet performed for their friends of the Fort Lee Public Library Brunch Gala at the Doubletree Hotel. The quartet is made up of Philip Hong, Anna Hong, Yejun An, and Chloe Hong, and is under direction of Mrs. Mary Stevenson.
A reminder that the PSAT and NMSQT scores are now available. Sophomores and juniors who tested on October 22nd should log into their College Board account to view their score report.
Congratulations to all fall sports teams at the conclusion of their seasons.
In honor of Veterans Day, the Fort Lee High School Student Government, together with the Board of Education, Administration, and staff, invites you to join us in honoring our heroes.
The front of our historic high school is decorated with American flags, each representing and honoring past and present members of the armed forces. Additional flags will also recognize those who serve our community, including members of the Fort Lee Police Department, Fire Department, and Emergency Medical Services.
We invite you to participate by purchasing a flag in honor of these dedicated men and women. Each flag costs $1 and will stand as a tribute to all honorees for their service.
All proceeds will benefit Fort Lee VFW programs.
Thank you, Jessica and Isabel. So this week, we are administering the NJSLA Adapted Field Test. It will be the new standardized assessment for the state of New Jersey. We are conducting a field test required by the Department of Education this week in preparation for the full official administration in the spring of 2026. I want to extend my appreciation to our counselors, our testing coordinators, our technology department, and our teachers for their patience and teamwork as we learned about this new assessment system and for their support, the support that they provided our students through this change. Tomorrow, as our students mentioned, is Veterans Day. It's a time to recognize those who have served and continue to serve our country. I'd like to extend a special thank you to our Fort Lee veterans. If you drive by the high school, you'll see the beautiful display of the flags that they conduct annually in their honor. And there's also going to be a Veterans Day ceremony 11 a.m. tomorrow at the Fort Lee VFW Post. So I encourage everyone this week to take a moment to reflect on their service and gratitude. This week is also National School Psychology Week. So I'd like to show appreciation to our school psychologists for their important work, supporting students' learning and their well-being. November is also Parent Engagement Month in the state of New Jersey. And so I would like to extend our sincerest appreciation to our parents, as well as celebrating American Education Week, recognizing the dedication of our teachers, staff, administrators, and families. So thank you to all. And that is the conclusion of my superintendent's report.
Thank you. Do we have any committee reports? Do we have any board members with questions or comments on tonight's agenda or other topics?
With regard to 5F, Insight Medical Health Services Provider, they're new to our district. Diane, can you talk about the type of medical service that they will be providing to our district?
Yes, so initially the plan is to focus on our grades 5 through 8 students. That's where we see the greatest need at this time. They will provide counseling, small group counseling to students, in need, but they also provide family therapy. We also have access to their system for professional development. They also will provide a screener if needed. So we are looking forward to working with them to help us continue to address student needs with regards to counseling, mental health, and social emotional support.
Is this a second layer of support that?
Is this a second layer of support that once our guidance counselor determined they need additional help, they will bring them in? Or are they on site to?
We will have a clinician on site, yes. There will be someone on site 5 days a week
At which school?
at the ISM middle school.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, before we open the floor to the public, Mr. Buggy, you want to read the walk-in 11P? We have a walk-in resolution.
Thank you. So this will be resolution P11 or 11P. Whereas the Fort Lee Board of Education is a local board of education duly organized and existing under the laws of the state of New Jersey. And whereas employee ID number ending XX91 is employed by the board as a teaching staff member. And whereas pursuant to board policy number 3161, the acting interim superintendent has presented evidence in support of her determination that an employee has displayed a deviation from normal physical and mental health. And whereas the acting interim superintendent has recommended to the board, based upon said evidence, that employees submit to a medical examination as to determine employees' fitness for duty. And whereas the board has heard and reviewed said evidence and found it to be credible and sufficient to support a reasonable belief that employees' ability to perform their duties as a teaching staff member is impaired by a possible medical condition. And whereas NJSA 18A:16-2 allows the Board of Education to require its employees to submit to a medical examination, and NJAC 6A:32-6.3b permits the Board of Education to require an employee to undergo an examination whenever, in the District Board of Education's judgment, an employee shows evidence of deviation from normal physical or mental health. Now therefore be it resolved that the board, in its judgment, has determined that an employee shows evidence of deviation from normal physical and mental health, and the evidence provided by the acting interim superintendent supports her recommendation that the employee submit to a medical examination in accordance with board policy number 3161. Be it further resolved that the acting interim superintendent, on behalf of the board, shall provide an employee with notice of the board's action and a written statement of reasons.
Thank you. We have a motion to open the floor to the public.
Motion.
Motion Morel, second Curry, all in favor? Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, we will hear first from members of the public physically located in the cafetorium. Then we will take questions and comments from those participating remotely. Participants are limited to 3 minutes in which to make their statement. For remote participants, please select the raise hand button. District Tech Coordinator, Mr. Ruggiero, will recognize each community member in the order of raised hands. Please remember to unmute your microphone. Everyone, please state your name and address for the record and begin your comments. Again, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Do we have anyone in public with us this evening who wishes to speak?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Preeti. My address is 429 Myrtle Avenue. I have CPAC updates. I have the privilege of leading the CPAC leadership team for this academic year, and I would like to share a few updates with the board and our parent community. Our first parent-only CPAC meeting in October was a great success, with over 26 parents in attendance. We had a wonderful representation from families across all grade levels, from pre-K through to the Fortress program, and even a few out-of-district families joined us. The concerns raised during this meeting were shared with the district, and I will be providing updates and feedback to the parents at our next CPAC meeting. As promised, this year's leadership team remains committed to supporting parents by providing a platform to raise awareness about systemic issues and to strengthen all advocacy efforts. Our next meeting will be held virtually on November 12th at 7 p.m. We're excited to welcome our first guest speaker, Ms. Laura McMillan, one of our district's board certified behavior analysts. Our district currently has 2 BCBAs. If you'd like to learn more about their roles, how IEP goals are developed, and how teacher training is supported, we encourage you to attend. We also kindly ask that during the Q&A session, we reserve for parents who currently have children in the district, including out-of-district families as well. Other interested attendees are welcome to send their queries directly to the CPAC leadership team via email, and we will be happy to raise them on your behalf. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to George, our transportation coordinator, for his tireless work in making the new bus tracking app available. A big thank you as well to Diane for her continued support, and to all our special education parents, Keith, Andrew, Cynthia, Nancy, Lynette, and many others who advocated passionately for this initiative. Because of your efforts, the bus tracking app has now been enrolled to all our students, not just to those in our special education. Your advocacy has truly brought peace of mind to so many Portly families who rely on school transportation. So thank you all for your continued partnership and commitment to our children's success. Good evening, everyone. My name is Cynthia Hanna, and I live at 2416 Rossett Street. From my understanding, we currently have inclusion classroom at school number 1. For those who might not be familiar, inclusion classrooms are designed to bring together neurodiverse and neurotypical students in the same learning environment, supported by 2 teachers, 1 special education and 1 general education teacher. The 2 main concerns raised for this type of classroom, no matter how well intended this type of classrooms are lack of support for the teachers. It has been brought to our attention that the kindergarten inclusion classes at school number 1 has no paraprofessional assigned to support the homeroom teachers in the class. In this setting, inclusion means that this class has mostly neurotypical kids, and some of them have an IEP. This lack of support makes it challenging to maintain an inclusive learning environment that sets all students up for success. It also places a significant strain on the special education teacher, who is responsible for not only providing instruction, but also managing students who require frequent redirection to complete their work. Point number 2, no information or guidance to the neurotypical students and their families. The concern that has been raised is that families of neurotypical students receive little to no information or guidance about inclusion in the neurodiverse peers. Or guidance about inclusion and the neurodiverse peers their children share the classroom with. As a result, we are seeing instances where neurotypical students may misunderstand or distance themselves from their neurodiverse classmates, sometimes even using hurtful labels such as bad or crazy. Additionally, at events like Back to School Night, there isn't any communication or education provided to parents about the inclusive model. Without such understanding, the true spirit of inclusion, that is fostering empathy, acceptance, and shared learning, risk being lost, turning into more of a formality than a meaningful practice. We are not asking for child's private information, such as IEP details or diagnosis, to be shared. Rather, we are advocating for intentional awareness and educational programs that help neurotypical students and their families understand better and embrace the inclusive environment they are part of. Having said all of that, can you please let us know how you can assist the inclusion classroom with a paraprofessional?
Ms. Hanna, your time is up. If you just grab the photo.
Yeah, so the final question is how can you help us to get a paraprofessional for the inclusion classroom in school number 1?
Thank you for your comment and for your questions. Paraprofessionals are provided in classrooms either based on a child's individual education program or based on class sizes. So in kindergarten, if class size exceeds 25 students, it might be 26, then we are required to provide a paraprofessional. Unless a child's, IEP calls for it, that would be a requirement, but that is also something that is budgetary related. And regarding getting paraprofessionals in the kindergarten classrooms, that would be a bigger conversation.
I'm sorry, Ms. Hannah, but your time is up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you? I'm Peter Saw, 237 Warren Avenue. I'm here today just to make a statement to thank all of you for your service. Each and every one of you does a great service for the Board of Education. At this time, I want to thank Mike, Paula, and Casey for your service. It didn't always feel like it, but I assure you that your service was greatly appreciated and was known that you guys were doing what you thought was the right thing for the town. And I want to congratulate our 3 members who are now elected onto the Board of Ed. I don't think it's been certified yet, so that was Michelle, John, and Keith. Congratulations to you guys. Now that the election is over, that was an arduous task in itself. But serving on a Board of Education is an even more difficult task, as you guys all know. I served on it previously with many of you, and I know how difficult a task this is. So I urge you guys to work together and accomplish the goals that need to be accomplished and do the tasks that need to be done. In saying that, as part of the governing body and as the liaison from the mayor and council, you have our full-throated support. Every council member and mayor will tell you again and again that we are here for you, and I will tell you, I am here for you as well. If you need me, we are here for you, and we can work anything out that you guys need. Thank you so much for your service, and continue doing this great job. Thank you. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Anyone else in the public wish to speak before?
All right.
Somebody
You want to go to
Somebody come.
She take that.
You can move the microphone up if you want.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Streak. Justin Rivera, 2185 Des Moines Avenue. On election night, the message from Fort Lee was unmistakable. Our community is done with bullying, fear campaigns, and the politics of intimidation. The election results were more than just numbers on a screen. They were a clear collective stand for decency, truth, and respect. For months, a handful of agitators tried to turn policy 5756 into a wedge, twisting it into something it wasn't. Instead of honest, fact-based discussion, we saw manufactured panic, wild exaggerations, and personal attacks. And some incumbents chose to echo that noise rather than correct it. They aligned with people more interested in outrage than outcomes, individuals who thrive on stirring conflict rather than solving problems. But the voters of Fort Lee saw through it. This election was never truly about a policy. It was about whether we let fear dictate our values. It was about whether bullying becomes a political strategy. It was about whether we allow misinformation to overshadow the real work of supporting our students and educators. And to that, the community loudly and clearly said no. No to scare tactics. No to divisive rhetoric. No to the voices that sought to intimidate, distort, and divide. Instead, Fort Lee voted yes. Yes to transparency. Yes to compassion. Yes to sanity. Yes to our teachers, and yes to a school environment built on respect, not chaos. To our newly elected directors, the election results are not just a victory, they're a responsibility. You have a given mandate to lead with integrity, to communicate clearly, and to anchor every decision in facts rather than fear. You are here to serve every family, every student, and every educator, regardless of who shouted the loudest during the campaign. And to the parents, residents, and students who refuse to be intimidated by a gaggle of bullies and gadflies, I say thank you. You showed that truth still matters in Fort Lee, that decency matters, that community still matters. This election was a referendum not only on policy 5756, but on the tactics used to weaponize it. And Fort Lee answered with resolve. We reject bullying, we reject fear, we choose better. And that choice is one we should all be proud to stand behind. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
We have Manas Food, on the road. So I have two topics for tonight. First one is a request. When can we get like a treasury report? It's been months since I've been asking for one and I'm seeing the expenses go up month by month. Here we have 6 million this month in bills. And I would love to see, one report at least, because we haven't seen one in a long time. The other question that I have for you is, when can we expect the district to comply with Mahmoud v. Taylor? The Supreme Court has been clear that the parents have the right for religious accommodations of the curriculum. That means that if a parent decides that the kid is not ready or doesn't match their religious beliefs, there's a sex ed education and healthcare curriculum, they're allowed to exclude their kid or opt out their kid from those classes. But in addition to that, any lesson and any material from across the curriculum that doesn't match their religious beliefs, right? So with that in mind, I want to ask, when can we expect a platform for parents to review curriculum and see if the provided materials match their religious beliefs, and a platform to opt out? Furthermore, what needs to be done is you gotta teach the kids that unwanted talk about gender and sex is considered sexual harassment. In New Jersey, in New York, corporate America, everywhere. You yourselves wouldn't talk to each other about sex or gender in a meeting in public, and a teacher wouldn't talk normally about sex and gender with a kid. The expectation is that the same treatment should be taught to the kids also. So these are the topics that I want to. Thank you.
As far as your question about the treasurer's report, the board did approve the July, August, and most recently at our last meeting, approved the board secretaries and treasurer's report. And I would suggest you go back and check the agenda and follow the hyperlink, and you'll be able to see both those reports.
But it's November now.
The board approved July, August, September, and later this month, they'll be approving October's.
What about
Just before you get all your, does that conclude your comment?
I guess so. I mean,
Well, no, it's not gonna be a Q&A back and forth. If she'll answer to the extent that she can, but I just wanna make sure you have all your comments and questions out now before she starts.
that's it.
Helen?
So with regards to the legislation that you announced, we did reach out to Strauss Esnick, who is our policy provider, so that they can give us a model policy from which we can work. And that is the process. Whenever something like that gets passed, we reach out to our policy provider, we get a policy, and it goes before a committee. So that is in process. And then as far as access to a curriculum platform, all of our curriculum is online through our Atlas platform. Parents can view it at their leisure. Everything is there. Resources, our core resources are available. And if you have any questions regarding any other content, feel free to reach out to your child's teacher first. And then you can go from there down the chain of communication.
I believe your time is up. If you have additional questions, I would suggest emailing them to either the superintendent and or the board secretary.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in public who wishes to speak? Okay, we're moving to Zoom. Mr. Ruggiero?
Melanie Goodman. you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes. Melanie Goodman?
So, good evening. Actually, it's Andrew Goodman. I'm on Melanie's account, 326 Bridge Plaza North. I'm just calling to find out the update on the bus tracking that was mentioned earlier, because I know I did not receive an email about that or a link. So I was wondering, when is that going to go live, I guess is the right word? And also, how will parents be notified about the bus tracking? Thank you.
So regarding the bus tracking, it's my understanding that correspondence went out to families last week. If you have any questions regarding your child's specific bus and bus tracking for that bus, please reach out to our transportation coordinator, George Sacrosan, and he will get back to you.
Steph Kotzo, you've been promoted to panelist. Please unmute your microphone and feel free to share your video. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, Steph Kotzo, 281 Tom Hunter Road. How are you guys tonight? First, I wanted to say that with regards to the curriculum that is going on in the classrooms or the pass outs, parents are not seeing anything. Also, the way that the curriculum is written for the child in first or second or third grade, parents are not being informed ahead of time of what is going to be discussed in class or a notification being given. Also, there have been children that have been able to access books that are very detrimental to them, and the parents are upset about this. Also, this week, I received calls from a few people who said they were strategically being left out and sending information to the CPAG and being left out of meetings. And they called to contact me, and I just wasn't sure who the liaison at the school is for CPAG, if the parents are having a problem internally with the leadership there. Third is, last week, it was discussed that there was a child who had been abused in our school, physically abused, that was a special needs child. And the board didn't come back with a response or make a response with regards to that. The mother in the room was pretty shaken, seemed like she was being mocked by the panel. That just can't happen anymore in the court, in the room. Before on 9/10, I actually went to the attorney that was there. I think his name's Lester. I'm not really sure what his last name is. And notified the president of something that had occurred in the BOE meeting room, of a harassment that was done. And basically they were like, just deal with it. I wrote in with regards to an ethics complaint to the entire board. Not one person responded to that, even that they had received it. So while the Board of Education is functioning, I just hope we can get the answers on these things, because oftentimes nobody replies. And it seemed like this mother last week that was just shaken about her baby not being physically okay in a classroom was mocked. So these things to me are very troubling. And as a stakeholder, I just would like to get an answer specifically on the curriculum and the access to books for small children that go against, their parents' wish.
So the one question I heard was that if a parent is having difficulty getting in touch with CPAG leadership, who should they contact? And the liaison is our Director of Special Services, Ms. Monica Hines. However, CPAG does have an email address, and you can reach out to them directly as well. Regarding advance notice of curriculum, our curriculum is online all the time, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Parents can actually go online the prior year to view their child's curriculum for the following year. At times, there are changes that happen over the summer, but our curriculum is online. And if you have any concerns, if there's a parent out there that has a concern regarding any material that their child comes home with, I encourage you to please reach out directly to the teacher.
There are no more raised hands.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Close public.
Motion to close public. I was saying adjourn public, sorry. It's been a long day.
Motion.
Motion to close the floor to the public. Okay, motion Colbath, second Rubino, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, moving on to resolutions. May I have a motion to approve item 1B through 7B?
Motion.
Motion Morales, second Colbath, roll call, please.
Ms. Byers Kang,
Yes.
Ms. Colbath,
Yes.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Mr. Knight is absent. Ms. Kotang,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Morel,
Yes, but I abstain on my name on 3B.
Mr. Rubino,
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve items 1B and G and 2B and G?
Motion. Second.
Motion Morales, second Rubino, roll call, please.
Ms. Byers Kang,
Yes.
Ms. Colbath,
Yes.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Ms. Kotang,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Morel,
Yes.
Mr. Rubino,
Yes.
Ms. Richter? Yes. May I have a motion to approve item 1S?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Rubino, second Morel, roll call, please.
Ms. Byers Kang,
Yes.
Ms. Colbath,
Yes.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Ms. Kotang,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Morel,
Yes.
Mr. Rubino,
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve items 1 CUR and 2 CUR?
Motion. Second.
Motion Morel, second Curry, roll call, please.
Ms. Byers Kang,
Yes.
Ms. Colbath,
Yes.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Ms. Kotang,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Morel,
Yes.
Mr. Rubino,
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve items 1F through 5F?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Curry, second Morel, roll call, please.
Ms. Byers Kang,
Yes, but I'm gonna abstain on 5F.
Ms. Colbath,
Same. I'm gonna abstain on 5F. Yes to everything else.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Ms. Kotang,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Morel,
Yes.
Mr. Rubino,
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve items 1P through walk-in 11P?
Motion.
Motion Morel, second Colbath, roll call, please.
Ms. Byers Kang,
Yes.
Ms. Colbath,
Yes.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Ms. Kotang,
Yes, and to 2P, it's really regrettable that this parent is resigning. She's highly spoken about in the district, so I wish her all the luck.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Morel,
Yes.
Mr. Rubino,
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes. Okay, moving on, is there any old business? Any new business?
I have a.
So in regards to the busing, I have a question. Did all of the students who needed to get the bus get the bus?
Any student who met the eligibility criteria, yes, and who submitted payment.
Okay, because I happened to see on the bills that there was a payment given back to one of the students' families, and then I happened to see that student, which I haven't spoken to the family or anything, but I'm trying to get from you what the story is, because I was very upset because that was one of the front and foremost of the movement to get the buses, that student was, so I wasn't sure what had happened, if all the students got the bus that needed it, and
The students that met the eligibility criteria, yes, they received, they are on the
the
bus.
eligibility,
The
okay.
distance, that met the distance requirement.
Okay, and then how much does the bus tracking cost?
I'm not quite sure, the district has had it for a while, we just, oh no, not the bus tracking, not that, but I'm not quite sure off the top of my head how much it costs, I would have to look into that.
Okay, that's something to think about, I hate to think that some students are, I mean, it's getting cold. Now they're walking to school, and they're like nine years old, and they're tiny, and there's a lot of things that happen, so that was very heavy on my heart, that for students to be able to get to school, and then to see that a payment was sent back to someone, and then to see, put the name with it, it was upsetting to me. And I wanted to try to find out how many students are in that situation. So maybe that's something, we could communicate, but kids need to get to school, and it's gonna start snowing soon, and, the roads are slippery, so it's enough. Yeah, right, okay, thanks.
That's okay.
Are the buses still in capacity?
It's my understanding that at this time, all of the buses aren't filled 100%. There are a few seats that are open in case we have new students that come into the district that require transportation. But also 2 of our buses were down. So we also need to be careful. We need to have spare buses available just in case one bus becomes inoperable. And as you all are aware, the district did purchase 2 new buses, that one we're expecting in December and the other one we're expecting in the spring, hoping to switch out our old buses and
allow those students
and modernize our fleet. We'll have to switch out the buses that are holding on by a thread.
Oh, so still students won't be able to have a seat on the bus?
No, but what it may allow us to do is extend the tracking, because we will own those buses.
Okay, so the students that get the bus will make sure that where they're at, but the students that are walking, that get hit by cars and are alone, we will have no idea what happens to them.
I mean, I understand that that's a priority of this board. But the request that was made by the board at the beginning of the year was carried out and executed, and we kept the board informed every step of the way of what we were doing with busing, with the fleet that we have. Just unfortunately, we don't have an extended fleet to offer all of the students that want the transportation to give it to them at this time.
Are we leasing some buses from Leonia?
Yes, we still are.
When we get our 2, is it possible that you get presented with the numbers to have like an additional bus?
We will have to switch out 2 of our current buses that are really, I believe one we just got back from the shop, and then another one, we will have to switch it out, because I'm not quite sure. Let me get all of the specifics, and then I'll get back to you.
I know that at the beginning of the school year, our priority was just to even get the bus going, and given the short staff situation, we sort of agree, let's choose a solution that would address immediate issue, which is to offer bus to as many students as possible. And we also discussed if there were open seats, that we consider the possibility of offering them to family, knowing that if they're the last one on the bus, if they need to give up those seats for a student who live beyond the 2 mile, that we will do that. so that one, we've taken as much proceeds as possible and to service as many students as possible. So I want to suggest bring that up again if that's a possibility to explore that. If George, ultimately he is the person who needs to manage that, but if that is a possibility to open up to that possibility.
The other factor involved is routing. So with the mileage that we selected was from a side of town that we were able to accommodate from that school 3 side of town to the intermediate school. Some students that may fall into, not necessarily in that mileage requirement, but are very close to it, live, what was explained to me, on the opposite side of town. So the routes would become impacted. So it's not necessarily just about seats on the bus, it's also developing routes so that students can be picked up in time to get to school.
I totally understand. Once George has all these amazing tracking system in place, if we can have a presentation on our transportation services, we've never been given one. We don't even know how many buses, how many routes. We would love a presentation by him in terms of what we're offering, what is a capability, capacity, and how we marry that to needs. So I think the community would feel a lot more informed, what the challenges are for the office.
Absolutely, and that's why in the beginning of this process, we met in board and small group and committees to present a plan that everybody was part of, everybody gave their feedback. We kept, everyone aware of our next steps in a step-by-step process every week, and that's where we are. As you also know, what we did mention is that there are some additional steps that have to be taken to provide a more comprehensive approach towards subscription busing. So I just do want to say that from the time that we heard about this in July, that we moved very quickly to implement a subscription busing plan, and that the board was informed in committee of the steps that we were taking. Okay.
Just wanted to welcome Michael to our first meeting. Welcome to the team. I want to also echo our councilman's comment. There's still more meetings to come, so there's no goodbye here yet. And then lastly, to the parents who spoke earlier, she's not here anymore. 3 minutes is not enough to solve any problem, but 3 minutes is enough for us to hear your concern. So I hope that you continue to work with Diane and her team and allow her team to respond to you and allow us to respond to you. Don't get despair because the 3 minutes didn't give you all the answer you wanted to hear.
Thank you. All right, may I have a motion to adjourn? Motion Rubino. Second. Second Colback, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.